Hello, greetings, my friends. I thought I prepare, I'm Gillesmansillon. I thought I prepare a tarot reading for the month of November 2020. And so this will be for the whole month. We'll see how it unfolds. I hope you will find it reflective of what is potential, what you see before you, and what will manifest as well. For the tarot is just a mirror. We are eager to see Jupiter move into the sign of Aquarius at the end of this year in 2021. For 2020, we will leave 2020 without having to want to hold on to it. It's going to be it has been a difficult month, but we saw it coming in astrology when we saw that Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto would meet in the sky in Capricornus, which is the structure of society, Pluto being the destroyer and transformer, Saturn being the karma, and Jupiter being the expansion. It was called on for this great shift of consciousness, and so this dismantling of the old matrix, the old structure, and so we'll see what we can do to address all 12 signs, all 12 aspects of consciousness as we go through the zodiac. And so we'll see what I've already done a French reading, and we'll see what if there is the condition may be different in the second reading. So we'll see what the tarot says. So specifically for the Aries, for each card will be a representative of what is focalized for each sign. Although we have planets in many signs, and so we are influenced by all kinds of the more planets we have in any one constellation is where we have strengths. When we have little planets in a constellation, that means it will be harder to work on those aspects. For the first constellation is Aries. So specifically for the Aries is what is potential for everybody. It is the sign. The Aries is the great I am. Is the first sign of the zodiac, and it is exhaustion. It is like somebody who's been doing so much to please others that he's been exhausted. So we're gonna have to stop, to slow down. It is very important to take the time for yourself this month, to take the time to take good care of yourself. As we do that, we find ourselves a little bit like the miser, like trying to protect what we have, and so we have to also to let go of that idea of lack. It is very important because the whole society has been, it's like very Aristotelian kind of model of lack. For the rich to be happy, there has to be a lot of poor in relationship to the rich, so the rich can be plenty happy that they're rich, to see the contrast. But Plato did not want this. He thought that this whole oligarcho-plutocracy would be creating too much suffering, and so he did not want this society. So we're going to be moving slowly but surely from a society of lack to a society of abundance, and then we'll be able to let go of money altogether. But for now, we need to recreate a sort of abundance. For this, not because there is rich that there is poor, it's because of the political system, and the fact that some people have more than others is not a problem. The problem is that there are some that have nothing, and this is really what we're coming into the consciousness, that there is enough resources for everyone. This is just a matter of creating a system that is all inclusive of all. I'm just deboarding a little bit into philosophy, but political ideas and philosophies, but so as we let go of the miser, we are moving into the state of totality. That means the situation requires our total attention. All of this is what is potential for all of us, and so we're going to need this state of totality, this state of absolute focus, not to allow any distraction. The more, if we're able to keep our focus very clear, we will move a lot faster, and from there the potential will be to align with the inner voice. The inner voice is the voice of spirit. It is the voice of your God self. It is your intuition that is speaking. For this inner self is not your intuition, but it speaks through the intuition. And this inner voice always has a far greater vision of past, present, and future, and the world of relationship on the higher planes. And so we'll come into the realization this month, once we pass through those aspects of that is potential, is to be more aligned with our inner voice. In the second constellation is Taurus. It means the word I have. It is what is anchored. For Taurus specifically, but for everybody, is what we have, what is already present and anchored, and it is the dream. It is the love relationship, the romance, the ideal, the joy, the coming together, after a long separation, to finally bring this union together. It can be on many levels, but it is about cultivating the dream. and an ideal love and relationship and a life situation on all levels. So this is an anchor. And it will be a very good month for Taurus as well. Then in Gemini, specifically for Gemini, but for everybody, it's our short travel. It is our friends and our mental activity. And here we have the guidance. So it is good that the guidance comes into this constellation. For we're receiving the guidance that will be coming very close to us. So pay attention to your guidance, follow your guidance. For your guidance has a wisdom to share. Spirit is the one who provides the guidance, and your guides are wise beings from heaven, and they care for you. And so then in Cancer specifically, but for everybody else, it is for everybody in general, it is our inner world and our immediate environment. And here we have morality. So we're going to have to let go of this idea of right and wrong. It is completely, she's becoming green. She's like the big inquisitor. She's the one who, she believes she has a higher moral standard. People have believed that their value are the highest one, and they want to impose their value on others. So it's about letting go of that, of all kinds of old beliefs, and letting go of the right and wrong that we believe. Doesn't mean that we want to completely, we don't want to let go of our moral consciousness, but to judge, to create this judgment upon others or upon ourselves, for the universe will create this expansion, return to this unity of spirit. And for that, we're going to have to address the burden. It is letting go of the burdens that there will be in our inner world and environment. We're going to be able to be aware of what is it that we carry the weight, what is the excess luggage. As we let go of that, we're going to find a new vision. It is the hangman. It is going to be it's going to be about letting go of those things that are disempowered in order to receive this higher vision, which will lead to a greater sense of patience. For the universe is patience. And personally, I'm very impatient, and God is the great patient, but my higher self is patient, but my lower self is very impatient. For the universe is patient because it is eternal. I go by certain beliefs, and that is the beliefs of Albert Einstein and of Plato and many others, that the universe is eternal and perfect, always have been like that. Although there is an expansion, but since there was this scientist named Lemaitre who created this equation that they came back down to this Big Bang, and so the universe started with a very short while ago with this like boom, and then all of a sudden there was the galaxies. But this is a complete fantasy of the 20th century mind. For the universe has always been, always has been in this perfect eternal state, and the material physical manifestation is just a playing ground where there is an expansion of consciousness that ever increases the higher planes as well. But in essence, we're going to be learning to develop more patience, to slow down with the process. Then in Leo is the heart, it is the family, it is the love, it is the passion, it is the creativity, it is children. And specifically for the Leo, but for everybody else, it is all that. It is creativity. It is about not getting lost in the details, to be creative, to find joy in the present moment, to find the beauty within nature, to be born and reborn again, to tune into the feminine divine wisdom. For the feminine was very powerful. The feminine God, the apex of creation is the divine feminine. So sorry to say to men, but men felt so threatened by that they had to diminish the power of women, because they felt threatened by this power of love. And so, but it is very much a kind of creativity. And so from the heart, we're going to see all kinds of new creative potential that will unfold from the heart. Then in Virgo, so specifically for the Virgos, but for everybody else, it is how we nourish ourselves materially, spiritually, what feeds us. And we'll be fed by comparison. We'll be able to compare the different state of being. First, we are being shown what we do not want, what we do no longer want, what we do not like. So we can say we do not want that, so we'll accept something new. So it is about the oak and the bamboo. There is no comparison. One is hollow, the other one solid. One is old, the other one's young. One is solid, the other one will bend. And so this power of comparison, to be able to compare, so we'll be able to nourish ourselves from the state of contrast, and yet that will provide us the ability to determine what we really want, what makes us feel good. Then in Libra, specifically for the Libras, but for everyone in general, it's the kind of relationship. It is professional, sentimental, social. It is all the kind of social. And although it's difficult during these months to believe in socialization, it is about clinging to the past. It's like the past is going to be very, very prominent. And so, but we in some sense we have to let go of the past in order to allow the new to come in. Huh? So it's not. It's not about holding on to the past. It's this card is letting us know not to cling on to the past. As we let go of the past, we find harmony. There will be a greater flow of energy that will come into our life, greater relationship, greater opportunity in the business realm, greater opportunity in the social. There is all kinds, because we've been there is all this plan to separate people, to make them afraid of one another. But and so it's been anchored and anchored and anchored. So we got to let go of that and to feel that we're going to be able to return to a great social life, and also social medias have been very counterproductive in relationship to the world of relationship. For talking to somebody is nice to have screens, but it's not the same as when you have somebody face to face. It's very different. So I grew up in a generation where we didn't have the internet, we didn't have cell phone. When we needed to talk to somebody, we met them in person, and it was such a great, it was far more. And then for hundreds of years, it's been like that. People had to come together to meet each other. And so we're going to want to return to a more simple way of life as well, I do believe, in the future, where we'll be able to create new forms of new relationship, not so much distant, but yet the internet is a platform that unifying the world, and is will continue to use it, but with discrimination. Then in Scorpio is what comes up from the subconscious. It is all those very those things that push our buttons, like love, sex, marriage, money, death, all of those things. And here, so specifically for the Scorpio, but for everybody, we're going to have this great abundance that is coming from within, from the subconscious. So we'll be able to enjoy this new flow that will come naturally from within, and to be able to share that abundance, whether it is gift, whether it is sharing, whether it is money, whether it is opportunity, whether it is synchronicity, all kinds of things. We're going to be able to see the opportunities that life presents us and act upon it. Then in Sagittarius is what we aim for. It is our laws, our philosophies. But for all Sagittarius in general, but for Sagittarius, but for everybody, it is our laws and philosophies. And here we have laziness. It's okay to be lazy, to take your time, to enjoy your life. Life will push you when it needs to push you, but for now, take your time, rest, enjoy yourself. To find solace in just being. We're human being. We're not created a human doing. We are human being. Yes, as human being, it's far more important to be than to do. But in the universe of time and space, in the magnetic universe, we need to do something in order to achieve something else. So it is because we are in a world of cause and effect, in a magnetic universe. So it is important to do what we need to do, but it's okay not to be overactive as well. Then in Capricorn, which is what comes to us from the outside world, is for Capricorn, but for everybody else, it's what comes to us from the outside world, is from the great goat Amalthea, the goat that nourished Zeus. And it is innocence, it is this purity. We're going to be made clean. We're going to realize of our innocence and purity. And so we're going to be able to feel that lightness, that unbearable lightness of being, to do this insouciance again. We're going to find a new final joy. Then in Aquarius is our friend, for all Aquarius, but for everybody else, it's our friends, our hopes. And here we have the source. So we're going to be very focused into tuning into the source, tuning into the one. And so this is really what's going to be, what we're going to be centering our energy around this. And what comes to us, and then in Pisces, specifically for Pisces, but for everybody else, the 12th constellation is the karma, is what is unavoidable. It is ripeness. It is the time where the fruits are ripe. They're going to fall down into the ground. We've done the work. Now it is just about being receptive. And the outcome of this month will be trust. It's going to be a great trust. We're going to be able to trust more and therefore flow more with the currents. Well, I hope this was resonated with you. I'm gonna keep this like that. And I hope this resonated with you. I'm going to sing a little song to say that the world is very temporal, it's very ephemeral. We are all made of stardust. We came here as stars, but to experience the limitation of the world in this particular form that we chose. And it's an old song, it's called Dust in the Wind. It goes like this. I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams passed before my eyes, a curiosity, dust in the wind. All they are is dust in the wind. Same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Now don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It sleeps away, and all your money won't another minute by. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind. Well, let's see how this unfolds this month of November. Let me know if this resonates with you, maybe at the end of the month, the time where everything unfolds and fulfills. But I hope, I wish you a wonderful time, although it is a challenging time, but it will everything will fall into place. It is just a matter. We're going to emerge into the light after all this period of great chaos and confusion. Thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful month, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.